Sophomore season is officially underway here in this one, and Bo Patterson stayed at Texas State to see if he can win them a Sun Belt championship once again and maybe get them to at least a better bowl game or inside the top 25. Let's hop into the sophomore season here as Bo finally gets a good offer for an NIL deal and he would sign it. And yes, we do have a new quarterback with Will Hammond in here. A 58 overall team, not good here. So our first game against Kansas State is on the way. And Bo's first snap here in the sophomore season was going for a big gain here, getting them the first down. And on 3rd and inches to keep the drive alive, Bo would just barely get it, and it's a first down. 2nd and 10 though, we still need to work on our pass blocking, but we would get a big completion here to get the first. 3rd and 6, just trying to keep the drive alive. Bo was just getting the ball, but our quarterback isn't the best, and that would end the drive here. 1st and 10 in the 3rd quarter. We weren't getting the ball any of the first, and now it's time to see if this team could finally click here. Our second year at Texas State here, and Bo is finally starting to get his juice back up. See, on another run play for Bo, you thought it was almost intercepted here off the trick play. And now, finally, Bo is getting some magic going, getting us inside the 25. And on 3rd and goal, we needed to keep the drive alive. Screen pass for Bo, and it was going to the end zone, and we were taking a lead. And just before the end of the 3rd quarter, Bo would break off a massive play, getting us inside the 25-yard line, and we were up against Kansas State 7-0 here in the opening day game. 2nd and 11, and Bo was getting this screen pass outside, and we would get inside the 11-yard line here, trying to put this game on ice and get us some endurance. 3rd and 9, we were just trying to get the first, but we wouldn't because Bo tried to hurdle man. Now it's 4th and 7, the field goal unit's out. We just needed to waste some clock, and maybe we would get the win. We would do that. We would upset the Kansas State Wildcats, winning 10-7 here in this one. And the season opener would get Bo Sun Belt Player of the Week. And now it's time for the biggest game of the season, the I-35 Showdown. And here on Bo's first carry, he was bouncing it inside, and he was taking this one all the way. Bo Patterson coming out with a statement here against the rivals of UTSA here in this one. And next drive, 2nd and 2, Bo was still fighting his way. 1st and 10, the next play, it's another big gain. They were getting the block, and Bo is not fast enough, but he would just barely get to the 1. And on 1st and goal, we would punch it in, and that was a 13-0 lead. In the 2nd quarter, Bo was just trying to get his pass block. He would shove a guy to the turf. Quarterback would just take off, and we were lucky we got a big gain there. 1st and 10, Bo was getting the ball, and he was getting this nearly the 10-yard line. And on 3rd and 2, just trying to keep it alive here in this drive would stall out. Just a couple of seconds remaining in the second half. Throw up a deep ball, and it's caught, and we would take a massive 24-0 lead. Maybe we get taken out, who knows. They would score, but that wasn't enough. Here's 5 seconds left in the half. Bo was finally getting taken out here in this one. And at the half, our team is just ready to give it up here as we had 167 yards rushing already. We would go on to win that UTSA game, and it was on now to our game versus UTEP. UTEP is another team out of Texas as a group of high school, and maybe we could come out with a big win here versus them and prove that we are still one of the best teams in the Sun Belt Conference. As Bo is getting those big rushes and big catches here early in this one, and on a 2nd and 3, Bo would whiff on this pass block, but it wouldn't matter. And on 3rd and goal, could we get into the end zone? We could not, as Bo could not do this all by himself. He needed a little help from that offensive line, and we weren't getting with a 58 overall offensive line. But the next play is a shovel pass for Bo, and he was getting all the yards we needed here. And we are just trying to keep this Texas State team on good terms, on good track here, as Bo can't do it all by himself, but that's sometimes the road to glory. And on a 3rd and 2, QB would motion us out and Bo would call for the ball. He wouldn't get it. But we would get one thing, and that would be a first down. And on 3rd and 10, Bo was just trying to get the ball, but our quarterback would try to throw it deep, and he gets hit as he does so. And now we are losing to UTEP, and they get the ball. And on a 1st and 10, just before the end of the 3rd quarter, Bo is just trying to survive here, trying to come out with a big win here versus UTEP. On a 3rd and 5, Bo would pick up a big chunk of yardage, getting us inside the 20-yard line. And Bo was doing everything good right now. On a 1st and goal, Bo would bounce us outside, and he would just barely not get in the end zone. I accidentally would stop recording, but I even checked, and yes, Bo did go out of bounds, and we would not get into the end zone, and now it was just time to see if we would beat UTEP. And like I said before, I forgot to record it, but we would in the end. Now it's time to play in a big game here versus FCS Midwest. On Bo's first carry of the game, he was already reminded about one thing. This is the team where he got his first points ever as a college athlete last year. Let's see if we can do that again. Bo's getting a lot better at pass blocking, but he can't hold it on forever, as we would take a big sack here. We would try to catch the defense off guard by going hurry up. And on a 2nd and 17, Bo was getting the ball, and he wasn't picking up anything either. And now we are just trying to survive here on a 3rd and 15. 3rd and 15, and why not just throw it to the guy right in front of Bo? They wouldn't get all the way to the end zone, but it's still an interception, and we're losing to an FCS school. We're still down here, and Bo would get yammed right here, and he might have a cardiac arrest. And another 4th down, who would guess? Our special teams kick return would do great things, as we are now up 6-7. And we would get another first down, though. Bo is doing everything he can to keep this team from losing to an FCS school, and so is the skills, as we would get a touchdown here, and we are just trying to come out of this one winning. I forgot, our field goal unit sucks, and we still have a close game here, and if they score, it's over. But fortunately, nothing else would happen, and we would go on to win 13-6. Hey, it's better than losing to an FCS school. Bowling Green. And yeah, looking at the rest of the schedule, Kansas State we beat, UTSA we beat, UTEP we beat, we just beat the FCS school. Now it's time to play our last game of this episode in Southern Miss, and there's our look at the rest of our schedule. Now it's time for our biggest game. Well, not biggest game, but one of our biggest games here is the start of the conference play here versus Southern Miss. And on a 3rd and 8, Bo's doing something at least. He was getting the first down here, but just barely. You thought he juked those guys, and now it's a 1st and 10 inside the 20. And you know what they say, Bo Patterson leads to touchdowns, and we would get one here, our first one of the day versus Southern Miss. And here Bo was picking up another big rush here, finally starting to feed off the energy as he's over 50 yards on the day. 3rd and 9, our quarterback sucks. Jeez Louise, man. A 2nd and 2 would turn into a Bo pass. And yeah, our quarterback sucks. He genuinely might be the worst quarterback in all of America. Like, how are you this bad? 3rd and 2, coach decided to hand it off to Bo because that was definitely the right decision. And now we have a chance here at the end of the 2nd quarter to score. And we definitely do here, getting us inside the 45 is Bo Patterson. 2 seconds left. We would just go Hail Mary. Bo was going with him, and maybe, just maybe, he could get there, but he would. And then this would end the half. We do have the lead, though, 7-0 versus Southern Mississippi. And we didn't do anything else the rest of the game. We would win 10-0. How is everybody this bad? Anyways, everybody, that's the end of the episode. Hope y'all enjoyed. This is the Ball Boys YouTube channel saying so long, everybody. Hope y'all have enjoyed the Underdog Brother series. See y'all in the next one. Peace.